Turn to all the devotees. Hare
The
Krishna.
Hare Krishna and Pravan Prabhuji. I can't tell you like how impressed I am. Pravan Prabhuji is like he's finding time, he's coming all the way from Manchester or somewhere, right, Pravan Prabhuji? And
Oh,
at such a young age, he has so much of enthusiasm to come to the manor and serve Krishna in whatever ways that he can. I mean, I'm like so impressed. Prabhuji, I feel so guilty that at your age, I was doing all kind I was so swept up in the material world. And to see like young, beautiful devotees like yourself coming and serving Krishna. So it's once again, it's so heartening. So thank you so much for that.
thank you,
Uh,
Prabhuji. Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Devotees Association. Credits to them.
definitely.
Learning from all of you.
Oh,
So all
definitely.
credits to this Sangha especially.
Definitely, Prabhuji. We all have come in this way. Amoga Prabhu knows about it. This is how we all grew. So, Sanghas is something, it's a beautiful platform for everyone, for all of us to grow in Krishna consciousness. And I can't tell you how important it is that devotee association, this is the only way we can survive in the spiritual platform in this world, and help each other, support each other. On that note, can I just request anyone who would like to do the Mangala Charan? Um, maybe, yeah.
Maybe Swarup Prabhuji can do.
Sorry, Prabhuji, are you good for? I don't know how you're based because sometimes he's so passionate. Prabhuji could sometimes take the call from the car also. So I just
No
said,
problem, Prabhu. Today I've come back in fact 10 minutes back, so it's all good, Prabhu. I can do it if you are okay with that, Prabhu.
yeah, absolutely. Please, bro, go ahead, Prabhuji. Let's do the Mangala Charan and then dive into the Krishna book.
Okay.
The wordings are there. I'm sharing on the screen just in case if you need.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Prabhu, we start with the Om
Yeah,
Aggana Timiradhasya, no,
yeah,
Prabhu?
that's right. Yeah, you can go
Yeah,
start it.
yeah, yeah, okay, okay, cool. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram. Om Aggana Timiradhasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitan Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapadakamalaam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parigyana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitamsa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namostute तप्त कंचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्प तरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुव एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष्य शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौरभक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much. A good start for our Sangha today. Thank you very much for that. I just wanted to ask if anyone would like to sing the Jai Radha Madhava and Hare Krishna one. Any volunteers?
Me?
Yeah, Prabhuji, please. What else could be a better blessing than that? Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Everyone sing. Everyone singing.
Jaya
Radha
Madhava
Madhava,
Kunja
Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya
Jaya
Radha
Madhava
Madhava, Kunja
Kunja
Bihari.
Bihari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari. Jaya
Jaya
Gopi
Gopi
Jana
Vallabha
Vallabha
Girvaradari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari. Jaya
Jaya
Gopi
Gopi Jana
Jana
Vallabha
Giridharadhari.
Girvaradari
Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Nandana
Jana
Brajana,
Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana
Yashodanandana
Braja Jana Ranjana
Brajana,
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Tira Vanachari
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Jamuna
Tira
Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya
Radha Madhava Bihari.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
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 Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
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 Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
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 Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe.
Jaya
Radha
Radha
Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe.
Jaya Radha Landaneshwara Radha Landaneshwara Radhe.
Jaya Radha Radhe.
Jaya Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radhe.
Jaya Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radhe.
Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe.
Jaya Radha Shama Sundara
Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai.
Jaya
Jaya
Gaura Jaya Gaura
Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jai Jagannath Jaya Prabhupada 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 Shila Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada,
Prabhupada
Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari
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 Bol.
Bol, Hari Hari Bol.
Prabhuji, very, very
Prabhu,
beautiful.
beautiful Prabhuji, you took all of us to Vrindavan, just like your name. You took us all of to Vrindavan as well. It's so
Jagannath
special
Puri
because
also.
Prabhuji is from Vrindavan, name is Vrindavan, and what else more can we expect? Such a beautiful, it's a blessing to have your association, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for that. And Jai Radha Madhava, as it's mentioned over here, Prabhupada was very fond of singing this song before, lectures. That is mentioned over here. Prabhupada was fond of his song and sang it before his lectures in Allahabad and Gorakhpur. Srila Prabhupada fell into a trance after singing the first two lines. And after some time, he came back into his external consciousness and said, now just chant Hare Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada said this song is a picture of Vrindavan. Everything is there. Srimati Radharani, Vrindavan, Govardhan, Yashoda, and all the cowherd boys. So this is the mood of Srila Prabhupada in a pure devotee of Krishna. So this is what we can absorb when we listen to this beautiful bhajan from Srila Prabhupada. So when the pure devotees, they go into a trance when they hear this bhajan, but still we are all aspiring devotees. We are just trying our best to go in the footsteps of great devotees like the gopis. They are the highest form of bhakti, and we cannot imitate them, but we can just definitely follow in the footsteps. And this is what is like how Prabhupada went into trance. We hear about even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he seen Lord Jagannath for the first time, he fainted. I mean, he was able to see Sham Sundar over there. But how many of us we have that kind of a consciousness, pure consciousness? Because this here is Supreme Bhagwan himself coming in the avatar of a devotee, most magnanimous avatar. That's the reason why it is so important. I was just thinking that Gaura, you know, basically the festival is coming up. Gauranga festival is coming up in this March and March 1st, and we should remember that along with singing the prayers for Krishna, Hey Krishna, Karna Sindhu, Dinabandhu, Jagatpate, we sing like that. Similarly, here we had this beautiful Gauranga prayer as well. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratuse Namaha. O most munificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself, appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani, and you are widely distributing the pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you.
Prabhu,
So,
one thing, Prabhu,
yes,
one thing.
Prabhuji.
Sorry, I disturb you 1 minute. Prabhu, sorry, I
Yeah.
apologize. Never mind. All of us, I tell you, tomorrow is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur appearance day.
Yes, Bhakti
That's it.
Siddhanta Saraswati. So much, it is by the blessings of Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who has actually asked Prabhupada to go to the Western countries and preach. Imagine how much we have to show our gratitude and glorifies Saraswati talk, because it was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati talk who actually told Prabhupada, you have to go and preach to the Western countries about Krishna consciousness. And that was planted in the mind of Prabhupada, and who at the age of 69 took that mission as a mission in his life. So gurus don't they speak very specifically. As soon as he seen Prabhupada, immediately he said, right, that you have to go to the Western countries and preach. So sometimes when they give us Prabhus, Maharajas and Gurus, they give us divine words, we should take it to our heart. Many times when people abuse us, we take it to our heart. People, when they scold us, we take it to our heart. But I think most important thing in this material world is when gurus say something, that is something which I have to take it to our heart. That I have to take this as a mission, and this is what I should do. I still remember, like, when I was talking to Kesha Maharaj, and I was just telling Prabhuji, like, this is what we are doing in manner, where I'm just trying to speak about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he gave a nice advice. He said, like, Prabhu, that's the right thing to do. And I would advise that whenever you're in manner and whenever the devotees are coming to the temple, introduce them to all the beautiful pictures we have in manner. Just show them and explain to them about each and every one. And that's the best service. You can take it as your service. And that has really inspired me that today, whenever I'm there in manner, we are introducing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Panchatattva to everyone. And I'm slowly getting into the mood of getting them to do Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, so that everybody understands the philosophy. Because the people who are coming from the last 7, 8 years and 10 years also, and they never even knew the history behind Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Can you believe it? I mean, like, I'm talking about visitors, not like proper devotees, but so that is something which is happening. And so each one of us, if we take some guru's words and Krishna's words from Bhagavad Gita, like I said, there was one person who said was very successful as a metro man of India, and they asked him, like, how is it that you become so successful? You're a government employee, but still your projects are successful. And he said one sloka from Bhagavad Gita, and I took it and I made it my very important thing. Every day morning I recite that. Mukta Sango Anaham Vadi Dhriti Utsaha Saman Vitaha Siddha Siddhiyo Nirvikara Karta Satvika Uchate. Where Krishna mentions about a worker in the mode of goodness, that how a worker should work in the mood of Sattva Guna, and with being away from all the Tamoguna and Rajoguna with great enthusiasm and determination, doing it as an offering for Krishna. And so he said, this is something which inspired me. So, like that, a guru's word, a Bhagavad Gita sloka, just one sloka, like they say, one idea can change your life. Like that, one sloka can change our life. If we can slowly pay attention to our gurus and thing. On that note, I would like to dive into our most precious book, KrishnaBook. I was just telling, like, we spend so much of time on Facebook, but 10% of the time, if we can spend on KrishnaBook, imagine what kind of a blessing we'll have from Krishna. As Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, very, very famous, a very important sloka for all of us before we listen. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti taktutaha chakta deham punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, where Krishna is saying that those who understand Krishna's Tattva, Krishna's appearance, Krishna's Leelas, those devotees towards the end of the life who listen to Krishna Katha, they don't come back into this material world, but they will go back to the supreme planet of Krishna, which is called as Krishna Loka. So on that note, we should feel the blessing of Radha Gokulananda that we can take. So last few weeks, in fact, we covered this Lord Krishna's daily activities. We spoke about it's so amazing. We not only know about Krishna, but we know about Krishna's daily routine. We've seen that how in the Brahma Muhurta, Krishna used to wake up. And even though the queens were not happy about it, Krishna we still would wake up and he would kind of freshen himself. And then we've seen that how he would follow all the formalities, all the rituals according to the Vedic culture. Then he would also go to the Swadharma, and then he would listen to all the people who are there in the Swadharma. And then we also seen that one of the messenger that has come on behalf of all the kings who have been imprisoned by Jarasandha, and that messenger came asking Krishna, please come and protect, please come and help us to release all the kings who have been imprisoned by Jarasandha. That was one request that we covered in this chapter. And the second thing that we covered is Narada Muni is coming to Krishna and he's telling him that the Rajasuya sacrifice that that Yudhishthira is performing, he should come for that. And we see in how Krishna, even though he is the Devadi Deva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, still when when a great sage like Narada had come, he was offering all his obeisances and he was asking, like, as if he was not even aware of anything, like, are the Pandavas doing well and what's the pleasant plan and things like that. So, Narada Muni is a pure devotee of the Lord, and he knows that Krishna, when he comes into this planet, he's playing the perfect role of a Dwarka. When he's in Dwarka, he played the perfect role of a king. When he was small child, he played the perfect role of a Damodara. And like that, every role he's been playing to perfection. He married 16,000 queens, but with every queen, Krishna expanded himself and played the perfect role of how an ideal husband to be. So we're talking about Krishna, how Krishna is so amazing. Like even Narad Muni, he could understand even that because he's a pure devotee of the Lord. And then now, and Krishna is so beautiful. It's not like I'm the supreme lord, so I'm going to take decision. And here we seen that when Narada Muni had asked Krishna that he has to, that he would come to Hastinapur for Maharaj Yudhishthira's great Rajasuya sacrifice, and Krishna is so nicely asking Uddhava, he's asking Uddhava, and he's so smilingly talking about Uddhava, and we get to know through the Gopi Geet and all the beautiful ones that how Krishna was so smilingly when he was speaking so beautifully, and we can learn because when Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he's telling the art of speaking about how we should speak when you speak to someone, how we should speak. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitahisam swadayaya bhashanam chaiva Vanmayam tapa uchate. Bhagavan Sri Krishna say, when you speak, the austerity of speech, when you're speaking with someone, you should speak in such a way that it's very beneficial. It is not hurting the other person. Speak in such a nice way that the person will feel so pleasing. It should be beneficial. It should be very pleasing, and it should not be antagonizing or agitating the other person. So, like I was just saying, even one sloka like that, the austerity of speech, how Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. So here and there we can learn from what Krishna is saying. He's not just even in Bhakti Yoga also, he's not saying like give me lots of garlands and all that. Even in Bhakti Yoga, he's talking about beautiful qualities that he likes to see in a devotees. So Bhagavad Gita is not a book where you blindly Krishna is asking like just follow this and nothing else. No, not like that. He's telling us about the art of living, the art of speaking nicely, the art of yoga. Yogastu kuru karmani sangam chaktva dhananjaya siddha siddhiyo samo bhutva samatvam yogat. Perform your duty equipoised Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So Krishna is explaining yoga at a higher dimension that you should have a balanced mind. Don't get very excited when there is a success. Don't get dejected when there is failure, but have a balanced mind. So like that Krishna gives so many pearls of wisdom that as long as you're living in this material world, follow all these beautiful instructions, and at the end of the life, come back to me. That is Krishna's message. So nice here, Krishna is not only he's not only telling in Bhagavad Gita Anudvega Karam Vakyam Satyam Priyahate. He should be very truthful, very purifying, very pleasing. Not only he's telling in Bhagavad Gita, but he is also following that, as you can see over here. He's so smilingly in order to pacify them, because he has two requests. One request is come from Narada, and one request is come from the messenger to release the kings. So he so nicely is pacifying, and he's smilingly looking at, saying to the Uddhava, my dear Uddhava, you are my well-wishing, confidential friend. I therefore wish to see everything through you because I believe your counsel is very right. See that? See the kind of how nicely Krishna is presenting and just asking his friend. Many times we feel like, I can take better decisions. I don't need to ask anyone. So today, sometimes people feel low, but he's the Supreme Lord and is setting an example that this is how we have to be. When you find there is someone, a friend who's very wise, then ask for his counsel. I believe that your counsel is always right. I believe that you understand the whole situation perfectly because Uddhava was there with Krishna. And I'm asking for your opinion. Krishna is asking for Uddhava's opinion. What should I do, Uddhava? I have faith in you, and therefore I shall do whatever you advise. It was known to Uddhava that although Krishna was acting like an ordinary man, he knew everything. And we also seen earlier in the chapters that Uddhava is actually a disciple of Brihaspati, and he knew he was very knowledgeable and he was so beautiful like Krishna, and we seen that earlier also. And so he knows that Uddhava knows that Krishna is not an ordinary person. He knows every past, present, future. That's what he said, right? Vedaham samatitani vartamana charjana bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vejana kashana. Krishna says, Arjuna, I know everything that has happened in the past, everything that's presently happening, everything that's happening in the future. So all of our lives, which are currently happening, what has happened in the past, what is happening in the future, Krishna already knows all of us. And he says towards that end of the sloka, I know about everyone. I know all your past, present, and future. But me, nobody knows. Because why? Because we are covered by these three gunas, which is not allowing us to see the actual form of Krishna. And that is why when we associate with pure devotees, we get to see. So we see through the eyes of the Guru, we see through the eyes of the scriptures, not by our own effort, because we are still not yet there, Guru Chaksu and Shastra Chaksu. So here the Lord is asking, because the Lord wanted to consult with him, Uddhava, in order to render service to the Lord, began to speak. So you see the humility of Uddhava. He knows that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, but still because Krishna has given him a service, so now he is beginning to speak. So that is the end of the chapter number 71. And we went, so now we are in this new chapter called chapter 71. Can I ask anyone if they would like to read the first, quite a big one, but yeah, anyone would like to do that?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Pavan Prabhu. Yes, go ahead. Lord Krishna in Indraprastha city. That's the one.
Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna in Indraprastha city. In the presence of the great sage Narada and all the other associates of Lord Krishna, Uddhava considered the situation and then spoke as follows. My dear Lord, first of all, let me say that the great sage Narada Muni has requested you to go to Hastinapura to satisfy King Yudhishthira, your cousin, who is making arrangements to perform the great sacrifice known as Rajasuya. I think, therefore, that your lordship should immediately go there to help the king in this great venture. However, although to accept the invitation offered by the sage Narada as primary is quite appropriate, at the same time, my lord, it is your duty to give protection to the surrendered souls. Both purposes can be served if we understand the whole situation. Unless we are victorious over all the kings, no one can perform this Rajasuya sacrifice. In other words, it is to be understood that King Yudhishthira cannot perform this great sacrifice without gaining victory over the belligerent King Jarasandha. The Rajasuya sacrifice can be performed only by one who has gained victory over all directions. Therefore, to execute both purposes, we first have to kill Jarasandha. I think that if we can somehow or other gain victory over Jarasandha, all our purposes will automatically be served. The imprisoned kings will be released, and will and with great pleasure we shall enjoy the spread of your transcendental fame for having saved the innocent kings whom Jarasandha has imprisoned. But King Jarasandha is not an ordinary man. He has proved a stumbling block even to great warriors because his bodily strength is equal to the strength of 10,000 elephants. If there is anyone who can conquer this king, he is none other than Bhimasena because he also possesses the strength of 10,000 elephants. The best thing would be for Bhimasena to fight alone with him. Then there would be no unnecessary killing of many soldiers. In fact, Jarasandha will be very difficult to conquer when he stands with the Akaushini divisions of soldier. Akaushini divisions of soldiers. We may therefore adopt a policy more favorable to the situation. We know that King Jarasandha is very much devoted to the Brahmanas and very charitably disposed towards them. He never refuses any request from a Brahmana. I think, therefore, that Bhimasena should approach Jarasandha in the dress of Brahmana, beg charity from him, and then personally engage in fighting him. And in order to assure Bhimasena's victory, I think that your lordship should accompany him. If the fighting takes place in your presence, I'm sure Bhimasena will emerge victorious, for your presence makes everything impossible possible. Indeed, Lord Brahma creates this universe and Lord Shiva destroys it simply through your influence. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me the intake.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That is pure nectar as you're reading it. It's so amazing to see like how beautifully the Vedic culture that's unfolding over here, like when Narad Muni. So we have two situations. So we can see, why this Krishna Katha is so important is sometimes we are at the crossroads and trying to understand which way to go. Should I do this or should I do that? We all go through these situations, isn't it? On one side, we have a request from here, and then we have another request from here, and then you will be like, should I do this? Should I do that? What is the right way to do? But here you see the counsel that Uddhava is giving to Krishna, because Krishna has got two requests. One request from a messenger to protect the kings, and another message from Narad Muni to go for the Rajsuya sacrifice. So on one side, Uddhava is saying it's a right thing that we should honor a great sage like Narada Muni has requested to satisfy, and obviously that is something very very important, because Krishna is so important for the Pandavas, and it is very right for Lord Krishna to go for the Rajasuya sacrifice. But again, the condition is that Rajasuya sacrifice can be done only when we have a situation when he has gained victory over all the kind of kings, like just like Jarasandha, especially belligerent kings like Jarasandha. So if the sacrifice, the Rajasuya sacrifice requires that we had to first gain victory of that over these kind of kings who have so much of enmity, then it makes sense that first let's put an end to Jarasandha, and then we can go and celebrate, because once Jarasandha is defeated and killed, then obviously all the kings whom he has imprisoned will be released. So that means it's a victory for Yudhishthira, and with that victory, he can just perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. So he was just nicely putting all the bricks together to make sure that yes, this is the right approach. One side, we are going to kill him, release the kings, and in that way, we have got rid of one of the major enemy, and then we can perform the Rajasuya sacrifice, which is very dear to Yudhishthira. So very beautifully counseled by Uddhava. As we know that Uddhava was not an ordinary person, he was a very learned person as well. In fact, just like Bhagavad Gita, we have something called Uddhava Gita also, right, which is part of Bhagavatam. So you can imagine such a beautiful this thing, that he was so close to Krishna. Krishna confided in Uddhava so much that even when he went to Mathura, he sent Uddhava to go and meet the gopis. And when Uddhava met, and so he was so confidential, such a confidential friend for Krishna, that he went and sent his cousin Uddhava to go and explain to the gopis and to pacify them. And there's so much. That's another beautiful thing. When Uddhava was seeing the love of the gopis, he could really feel that maybe I wish I could be at the dust in this land of Vrindavan. So there's so much that we can learn, because the highest purpose is to understand that the gopis are the greatest devotees of Lord Krishna. But here again, even though he's mentioning that for all purposes it's good, one thing it's decided that yes, we have to go and kill Jarasandha, but at the same time to also understand that how do we approach Jarasandha, because he's not an ordinary person. Krishna himself defeated him 16 times, and again on the 17th time he again came to fight with Krishna. So he was quite a powerful guy. As you can see, he had the strength of 10,000 elephants. I mean, sometimes you may think like, how is it possible that somebody could have that kind of a strength? But again, we are talking about a different era, a different yuga, which is called a Dwapar Yuga, because we know that when we entered into Kali Yuga, the abilities have reduced, the lifespan has reduced, the memory has reduced, everything has reduced. People, in the ancient times in Dwapar Yuga, they could just listen to 18,000 slokas of Bhagavatam and just repeat to the next person. We can't even remember one sloka in this Kali Yuga properly also. That is the effect of Kali Yuga. Our memories are weak, and so we're talking about different dimension of the kind of a knowledge that people have. But again, also we have to know that any ability, whether it's 10,000 elephants or 20,000 elephants, that ability, that strength is coming from Krishna. Krishna says, right, Balam Balavatam. So he's saying that I'm the strength of the strong, and I'm the ability in the man, right? Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi sasasurya pranava sarva vedeshu sabdake paurusham nushu. I am the ability. Finally, he says in that sloka, I am the taste of the water, I am the light in the sun, and finally he says, I am the ability in man. So how come they have that? Because we are talking about a different period of time when people had such kind of a strength. But so look at the strategy, how beautiful. One, we decided that yes, first person has to be killed, and when we are victorious, then we will send go and attend the Rajasuya sacrifice. And second thing, how do we kill this guy? We need to have one-on-one with Bhimasena, who's equally got the strength of 10,000 elephants, and then because if we take it like a war, again, it could be very difficult to come to fight him. So the best thing to do is have a one-on-one with someone like Bhimasena. And again, because again, see, look at the strategy again, because we know that Jarasandha is very quite charitable towards. So it's very interesting, isn't it? Even though the people are in those there were like quite demoniac in their mentality and all these things, but again, even they also knew about certain things about doing charity and taking respecting the brahmanas and all that. So like even in Kurukshetra also, they would fight with each other, but in the evening again they would be normal, like as if they knew each other. And we also heard about like how Arjuna goes and asks Duryodhana, can you give me the 5 arrows that Bhishma has taken a vow to kill her? I mean, like, so some things are like, and he readily given it, you wouldn't expect, right? I mean, imagine if you are such strong enemies. Would an enemy give you the arrows and say like, okay, these are the arrows which are meant to kill you? Why would he give them? In today's world, nobody, Duryodhana, if there's somebody like Duryodhana, he will not give back the arrows. But Duryodhana gave back the arrows at that time, and the arrows which Bhishma asked him to keep it with him, to kill the Pandavas. So very interesting. And even though Jarasandha, even though he was like on the demoniac and he was quite a friend of Kamsa and all these friends, but still, he was charitable towards Brahmana. So he's saying like, let Bhimsama approach Jarasandha in the form of a Brahmin and beg charity, and then engage in fighting with him. And and look at the strategy. Like, so Bhimasena one-on-one with two people who have the similar strengths and go in the disguise of a Brahmana. And then also for Bhimasena's victory, what is more important? Always the Lord should accompany him. That is why, see, look at Uddhava knows that no matter Bhimasena may have the same strength as Jarasandha, but still they should always be Krishna with the Pandavas. Because why? In Bhagavad Gita, what is the final thing that Sanjay said? Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Pardo Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Bhagavan Sri Krishna and wherever there is Arjuna, there is going to be victory, morality, and success. So, that is Sanjaya's final conclusion in Bhagavad Gita. Wherever Krishna is there, wherever the Pandavas are there, like Arjuna, where a devotee like Arjuna is there is going to be victory. So here, similarly, he's saying in order to ensure that Bhimasena's victory is there, that your lordship, Krishna should also accompany him. And if the fighting takes place in the presence of Krishna, then Bhimasena will emerge victorious. So very, very important, because like very important thing why we have to reflect on that. I was just reflecting. You all know the story of Arjuna when when Krishna was there, he went and fought the Mahabharat battle, the Kurukshetra battle, and not only that, he even saved Duryodhana from the Gandharvas, and like that, so many beautiful stories are there where Arjuna even fought with Lord Shiva, and he who gifted him the Pashupati Astra and all that. So such a great warrior like Arjuna, he found that when Krishna, ended the avatar and the Leela, when Arjuna was bringing back the queens with him, and he was trying to save them from the cowherd boys, or the kind of like street guys who were trying to steal away the queens. And Arjuna, even though he was one of the greatest warrior on the planet, he was not able to save the queens from just some cowherd guys who are there, who are just trying to take away the queens, snatch away the queens from Arjuna, and he was so helpless. That is when Arjuna realized, and he tells Yudhishthira that all this while, and I thought I was invisible, I thought I was the greatest archer, and I was so qualified, in my fighting abilities, but I realized that all that was because Krishna was with me. But now that Krishna is left, that I'm not able to even fight an ordinary person who was trying to even defeat me. So this is what we have to understand, that the humility that when we listen to a Krishna Katha like that, we have to realize that all the skills that we have, all the abilities that we have is because of Lord Krishna. He is giving us all the abilities. He is giving us all the skills. But if those skills that Krishna is given, if they're again used in service of Krishna, that is what we call as devotional service. What we are actually is, we are not talking about, we don't believe in Vairagya, we don't believe in leaving everything and running away into the forest or into the Himalayas. What we believe is Yukta Vairagya, which means engage anything, any skills, anything, material also doesn't matter, engage them in the service of Krishna. That is Yukta Vairagya. And that is what the devotees of Krishna believe in. Doing everything. Samsiddhim Haritoshanam, which means doing everything for the pleasure of Krishna, using every quality, every ability in the service of Krishna. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam, right? You're using our senses in the service of Krishna. And so here also, so this is what saying, Uddhava is saying that, in fighting, if that happens in your presence, then surely Bhima will emerge victorious. Just like how Krishna tells both Duryodhana and Arjuna, right? Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshi stina priya ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mai teshchapyam. Krishna gives the same this thing to everyone. Just like he says, I'm not envious, not I'm impartial, I'm equal to everyone. Just like Krishna gave Duryodhana and Arjuna, both of them, he gave them the equal opportunity. One person can choose me, one person can choose my army, right? And Arjuna, because when Krishna opened his eyes, he was seeing Arjuna for the first, he first only want you. Because if you are there, Yatra Yogeshwara, he is the master of all the yogis. And if wherever the Krishna is there will be victory. And that's what, and Duryodhana thought, what a foolish idea. Why do you want only Krishna when he's not only going to fight also? Then I will just go for the army. It's a better sensible decision. That's what Duryodhana thought. So everybody is given a chance, a free will to decide what is the best thing for him. Through the Krishna Katha, it molds our thinking that we have to think like this. How strategically Uddhava was thinking about it, right? He's saying first you go and kill this person, and in order to kill him, put Bhima, and not only Bhima, then you also be out there in your presence. You are the ones who can make impossible possible. Brahma created this universe and Lord Shiva destroyed it simply through your influence. So everything happenings by the presence of, by the will of the Lord. For Krishna, he needn't have to come also. He can just wish and things will happen. Right? Just like how Brahma, how did Brahma create the universe? Where did he get the knowledge from? Tena Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye. From through the heart, Krishna is given all the knowledge to Brahma. And similarly for us also, he says the same thing, right? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajati priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Krishna is saying, when we are serving Krishna with lot of love, then Krishna says, I sitting in your heart as a Chaitya Guru, I will give you all the knowledge and intelligence by which you can come back to me. So we don't have to think like, oh my God, will I understand Bhagavad Gita? Where will I get the knowledge from? So we always have to read Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada, as himself has mentioned, when he written Bhagavad Gita and when he was reading, the devotee used to ask, disciple used to ask Prabhupada, why are you reading your own Bhagavad Gita? And Prabhupada used to say, it's because everything was directed by Krishna. I'm just an instrument. It was Krishna was guiding me and directing me to write the Bhagavad Gita. So everything is happening. So we approach Krishna through Prabhupada's books, Prabhupada's guidance. Tadvidde pranipatena pariprasnena savya. So it's always approach to the Guru. And then when we approach through the Guru and when we serve Krishna, Krishna will give us the intelligence by which we can understand. Can I ask anyone if we can read the next one?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read it.
Yes, Nishaji.
Okay. Gonna start from actually you create, right?
Yeah.
Actually you create and destroy the entire cosmic manifestation. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are only the superficially visible cause. Creation and destruction are actually performed by the invisible time factor, which is your impersonal representation. Everything is under the control of this time factor. If your invisible time factor can perform such wonderful acts through Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, will not your personal presence help Bhimsena conquer Jarsandha? My dear Lord, when Jarsandha is killed, the queen of all the imprisoned kings will be so joyful at their husbands being released. Shh, 1 second, you can do it later. Okay? At their husbands being released by your mercy, that they will all sing your glories, being as pleased as the gopis were when released from the hands of Sankshada. All the great sages, the king of elephants, Gajendra, the goddess of fortune, Sita, and even your father and mother were all delivered by your costless mercy. Shh, shh, keep quiet. We also have been thus delivered, and we always sing. Sorry, Prabhuji, and keep
No,
quiet.
no problem.
And we also sing the transcendental glories of your activities. Say Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Hare
Sorry, Prabhu. Hanuman
Hare
ji. हाँ,
Krishna. No, no, don't say sorry. I mean, she's like, she's our team. She's our son's part of the satsang. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu ji.
Very sweet. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji. Yeah, you,
Yeah.
you
Shall I continue, Prabhu ji?
yeah, you're done till the paragraph, right? Yeah,
Yes, yes,
fine.
yes.
So yeah, so absolutely fine. So here, actually, so nicely we can see that how Uddhava is kind of like giving his narration. See, sometimes like a sun needn't have to say like I'm beautiful, I'm sunshine, and like the beauty of a sun should be told by a moon or by the stars that how beautiful like that. Sometimes we want to understand the glory of the Lord through the eyes of the devotees, isn't it? So here we can see like so that's how we can understand because Krishna did mention about in Bhagavad Gita, but here Krishna Katha and Bhagavatam is all about glorification of how the devotees, when we see the devotees' prayers and with these how the devotees are approaching Krishna, then we can understand and by the mood of the devotees that this is what we have to understand about Krishna. We know that the Brahma and Shiva, they're superficial. So here he's saying, like, you create and destroy the entire cosmic manifestation. Brahma and Shiva are only superficial visible causes. Even though Krishna has expanse, and we know that from Mahavishnu we have Brahma appearing, and Brahma creates all this universe and all this, and then we know that Shiva is towards the end. This material energy goes through creation, maintenance, and destruction, and but at the same time all these things are actually happening by the will of Krishna and through the time factor, which is what Krishna says right in Bhagavad Gita. Out of the five factors that Krishna says about Atma, Paramatma, Karma, Prakriti, and the fifth one, most important thing, is Kala. And he says, time I am, and I come to destroy everything. So it is actually happening by the will of Krishna. It's happening by the will of Krishna. And he's saying that if you, by your time factor, can perform such an important thing in the role of Brahma and Shiva, what to speak about your personal presence? Because there is so much of this material energy. We are all energies of the spiritual energy and material energy. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, right? Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravarte iti matva bhajante mam baddhabhav. I am the source of all the spiritual and material energy, Krishna. So all these energies are working perfectly under just the direction of Krishna. Krishna is happily playing his flute in Golok Vrindavan, but just as per his will, the whole cosmic creation is happening. The planets are rotating, the seasons are changing, everything is happening just by the will of Krishna. And just what to speak of Krishna's personal presence being there for Bhimasena. What can we talk about that? It is something which is beyond. So here Uddhava is saying, if you're cosmic just in the form of a time factor, if you could create so much creation and destruction, what to speak if you're personally present in the form of there to help Bhimasena to conquer Jarasandha? Because we know, right, how Krishna was playing so perfectly in the Kurukshetra and how he was guiding, whether it is Arjuna or with all the Pandavas, in dealing with Duryodhana and things like that. So here he's saying, my dear Lord, when Jarasandha is the queens of all the emperors. So we can see, like, how nicely the thought process of Uddhava, he's saying, like, if you go and kill Jarasandha, then all the kings will be released. And if the kings are released, the queens will be happy and they'll be so joyful being released by your mercy and they will sing all your glories. And such a nice comparison is being, and he was just reminding, just like how the gopis, they were trying to be abducted by Sankachuda, and when Krishna went and released them, and the gopis were so happy, right? They were so pleased. So he's making a similar comparison, just like the gopis, even they will be pleased. And all the great sages, the king of elephant Gajendra, the goddess of Sita, and even your father and mother, they were all delivered by your causeless mercy. And we all know that, right? Gajendra Moksham is like how Krishna responded to the prayer of Gajendra, was actually a king in a previous life, and Gajendra uh, happened to remember the prayers in this life as an elephant, and she offered the prayers. And what did she do? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prayachiti. Just offer me just a flower, a fruit, a leaf, or water. And what did Gajendra do? She offered even in that pain when the crocodile was catching the feet of the elephant, Gajendra just remembered the prayer and offer a flower from the pond, a lotus. He offered it to Krishna, right, to Vishnu, and then you know that what has happened. He came and protected him. So he was reminding, like, all the great sages, the Gajendra, goddess of fortune, Sita, and even your father and mother, even when they were there, they were delivered by the causeless mercy. And we have been thus valuable, we always sing the transcendental glory of activities. So Krishna is otherwise so nicely glorifying, remembering all the people who have been rescued by Krishna, and of course not to forget the 16,000 queens who have been rescued by Krishna as well. So in this way Krishna is nicely showing his, and Uddhava is glorifying Krishna. So this is how we have to understand, because our prayers can sometimes maybe, like, when people are so novice to Krishna consciousness, we don't know what to pray. But so the most important thing is we have to pray, we have to glorify the Lord, how beautiful the Lord is looking like. We should offer our gratitude, and we should ask for forgiveness. These are the things in such a nice way. So the devotees like Uddhava and all show us the way how we have to glorify the Lord and how we have to seek his blessings. So I want to just see if we can just cover a bit more. Anyone would like to read the next one?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Can I
yes,
read, Prabhuji?
yes, Gayatri ji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Therefore, I think that if the killing of Jarasandha is undertaken first, that will automatically solve many other problems. As for the Rajasuya sacrifice arranged in Hastinapura, it will be held either because of the pious activities of the imprisoned kings or the impious activities of Jarasandha. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. It's so nice. So here, uh, Uddhava is making it very clear if the killing of Jarasandha is taken fate. So it's very clear that first for the Rajasuya sacrifice, all those people will have to be won over by Yudhishthira, and the best one of the Pandavas, Bhimasena, can kill. That will solve all the problems. And once the Rajasuya sacrifice is arranged in Hastinapur, for which Narad Muni has come to invite Krishna, it will be held either because of the pious activities in prison kills or because of the impious activities of Jarasandha. So either way, this Rajasuya sacrifice is going to happen. But also one more thing is, like, as it's required as a prerequisite for the Rajasuya sacrifice, that Yudhishthira should win over all the kings, especially who are inimical towards him. So that is a perfect setting for this thing. So this is why it's very important. It tells us, like, sometimes we have to always have the counsel of wise people. It's not that we should take the advice of everyone, but we should also be very, very choosy about whom we take advice from. Someone like Uddhava, someone who's wise, who can give the right advice. I just wanted to ask Narayan Rao Prabhuji, would you like to just read this next one? Hare Krishna. Narayan Rao Prabhuji? Okay, I think maybe some audio issue or something, because he was, Prabhuji is like, yeah, he's in mute. Anyone who would like to read the next one? We just want to cover a bit more and then.
Is it okay for me to read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead. Yeah.
My lord, it appears that you are to go personally to Hastinapur to conquer demoniac kings like Jarasandha and Sisupala, to release the pious imprisoned kings, and also to perform the great Rajasva sacrifice. Considering all these points, I think that your lordship should immediately proceed to Hastinapura.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. So it's very clear. So Krishna, even though he knows the past, present, and future, there is nothing concealed from them. Krishna showed in Bhagavad Gita, in as well as in the universal form as well. In the future also, he could see how the Kauravas and everybody were dashing into the mouth of the universal form of Krishna. So Krishna knows about everything, but still he's asking Uddhava because he knows he can count on his counsel. And so here Uddhava is making very clear that it's good that if you can personally go to Hastinapur, conquer the Jarasandha king, Shishupala, and then release them, then perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. So from all angles, if you look at it, so this is the way to decision making, isn't it? Sometimes we think like Mahabharata and Krishna Katha gives so many beautiful messages to us, very subtle messages, that how to take counsel, whom to take counsel from, and also to make sure that we are taking the right counsel and taking the right decision in this way. See how such a nice calculated way that Uddhava is thinking about how to take a decision. So here. So I just want to cover maybe just one more paragraph, and before we end, anyone would like to read this one? This advice of Uddhava's. Gaurangi Devi Mataji, would you want to? Okay, maybe then in that case, I will just read this out. This advice of Uddhava's was appreciated by all who were present in the assembly. Everyone considered that Lord Krishna's going to Hastinapur would be beneficial from all points of view. The great sage Narada, elder personalities of the Yadu dynasty, and the supreme personality of God, Krishna himself, all supported the statements of Uddhava. Lord Krishna then took permission from his father Vasudev and grandfather Ugrasena, and he immediately ordered his servants Daruka and Jaitra to arrange for travel to Hastinapur. When everything was prepared, Lord Krishna especially bid farewell to Lord Balaram and the king of the Yadus, Ugrasena, and after dispatching his queens along with the children, sending their necessary luggage ahead, he mounted his chariot which bore the flag marked with the symbol of Garuda. So this is such a beautiful way. You can see like how Krishna is showing us that in this material world earth when we are living, we may have so many friends, but we have to be careful about whom we are taking counsel from. So he's taken the counsel from Uddhava, and now by the presence of everyone in the assembly, so he was not like dogmatic. I've decided what to do and I'm going. No, he's actually taking the counsel. He's seeing that everybody is appreciating the kind of the decision that has been taken, that Lord Krishna should go to Hastinapur, and which is beneficial from all angles. And great sage Narada, the elder personalities, and we can see that how Krishna, we learnt earlier also in Krishna book in the earlier chapters, when Krishna went and killed Kamsa, he released his father. Kamsa went and imprisoned his own father Ugrasena, right? And Krishna went and released grandfather Ugrasena, and Ugrasena was released and he was made into the king. So here, so see, we can see from Krishna how to be so selfish, right? He's so selfless. He went and killed Kamsa, but he did not take over Mathura. He given it to his father, Ugrasena. Ugrasena, grandfather, you rule the kingdom. I'm not going to. Samantaka Juval also, you know, um, they thought, actually he thought like, Krishna was interested in the Samantaka Juval. No, but Krishna finally gave it and said, I'm not interested. You take it. So here Krishna is showing us how to live a very selfless life, and like so Krishna was playing the perfect role, as I said, as a king of Dwaraka, but also as the ideal father, as the ideal son. So he's taking the permission from Vasudev and Ugrasena, and then he's ordering his. We all know that he's got a servant called Daruka, and to arrange for the travel and bidding the farewell to Lord Balaram, and again Balaram we know who's none other than Nityananda, who we had the Nityananda's appearance day celebration also last week, and the kings and Yadu and Agrasena and all of them and all the queens, and then finally mounted on the chariot, and which is marked by the symbol of Garuda. So I would say we will just stop at this, and we'll start again. So Krishna is starting the procession, how Krishna is going to be satisfied great Narada and Donald. We'll cover it in the next chapter, in the next session. The nectar is always flowing, as we all know. No matter how many times we are reading this Krishna book and all the beautiful chapters, how much of nectar is flowing through each and every chapter. And by Krishna's mercy, and Radha Gokulananda is so kind that we have covered 70 chapters and we are in the 71st chapter. Let's pray that we continue our satsang and continue covering till the end of Krishna book. And I'm so sure we are going to make it happen. And Krishna is blessing. Without Krishna's blessing, we wouldn't have come this far as covering 70 chapters. So it's showing that Krishna's mercy is there. And then, like every chapter is nectar. So even though some of our devotees have joined in the middle, but still every chapter is nectar that's coming from Krishna. So on that note, I would like to open the floor. Any mistakes, any corrections, or anything at all, please let me know. Vrindavan Prabhuji, Prabhuji is left, but Swarup Prabhuji, Niraj Prabhuji, Amoga Prabhuji, and Indulekha Mataji, anything, any points, Gayatri ji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, very beautiful Prabhuji. Just hearing the Katha Prabhuji, how the things are going on. Krishna speaking to Uddhava and Uddhava is instructing Krishna. Yes, he is very related to Natata me pritama atma yonihi nasankaraha. So Krishna says, na sankarshana shrihi na evatma cha yata bhavan. Oh Uddhava, you are so dear to me than Brahma, Shiva, Sankarsana, and Lakshmi Devi. Even than myself, you are that much dear to me. So just one remembering, and now Krishna's
Beautiful.
Uddhava is the elevated soul, he is the elevated. If we see what we are in our day-to-day life, what it means, the story is going in the Krishna book, but what is reflection in our personal life?
Mm.
Arjuna, what is the reflection of when Krishna speaks to Arjuna? What it means to us in the day-to-day life. So
Mm.
Arjuna is a person who is in the middle of the battle. And Uddhava, he is always accompanying, he is elevated further, he is beyond Arjuna. He is beyond Arjuna and he is always associating with Krishna. Uddhava means elevated. Arjuna is who is the fighter, who is like in between the struggling with the duties, day-to-day duties.
Yeah.
And Krishna says to that Uddhava that you are very dear to me, oh Uddhava, like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It is very nice to hear Prabhuji Katha.
Hare Krishna,
You
Prabhuji.
can
Thank you
just
so
go
much.
to, you can ask devotees name by name, Prabhuji.
Yeah, sure. Gayatri ji, anything you would like to add? Any corrections?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, don't ask me for corrections, Prabhuji. I'm very nothing. Please, I'm listening. It is so beautiful always to listen to Krishna Katha, as you always say. And Namok Prabhuji gave a little bit more nectar again. It's just very beautiful, Prabhuji. Today, I am very happy that I could listen to this, and also Krishna himself is asking Uddhava for to guide him. So which is very nice, and that means we should be always asking the right opinion, which you already explained it so beautifully, Prabhuji. That's all I am learning, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I have no questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Prabhuji.
We all
Beautiful.
learn. Yeah, Krishna Katha is always teaching us how to be humble, that no matter how intelligent, we can always look up to counsel. So, yeah, thank you, Mataji. Sorry, Prabhuji, anything you'd like to mention?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. No, such a beautiful this thing. I think Gayatri Mataji already mentioned about the Krishna's so humble in spite of being everything that and there are some great learnings that has come out from today's Katha Prabhu to think, to reflect on, really, in terms of we sometimes think that we all know everything, we know the best, but how to take the counsel of really the people who are learned and who are this thing. And it's very humbling, Prabhu. It was very nice class, as always, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. And Swarup Prabhuji is so nicely serving in manner, taking part in the Kirtan and supporting in Kirtans, and sometimes we land up doing together as well. So amazing, Prabhu, Swarup Prabhuji, to associate with you. Thank you very much.
It's my
Yeah,
good fortune to get your association, Prabhu.
thank you.
It's great.
Prabhuji, so humble.
That Neeraj Prabhuji may have got questions. Questions.
Neeraj Prabhuji, I had a question.
No, I don't have any question. Meaning I
Yeah.
joined late, so
Oh,
I
okay,
can
okay.
plan.
Yeah,
So, meaning I was traveled to London today, so I
no
joined
problem,
late.
Prabhuji. I mean, I really appreciate that, no matter, even if
Yeah.
you couldn't make time, you just
Yeah,
managed to
yeah, I
join. It
joined 2 3
shows,
minutes. Yeah.
yeah, it shows
Definitely.
your
Yeah.
enthusiasm in being part of Sangha. Like even a few minutes of being in Sangha,
Yeah.
devotee Sangha, especially when we have such wonderful seniors, devotees who can give us so much of light on this Krishna consciousness. So it's very, very blessing to us. So
Yeah.
thank you for joining us, Prabhuji.
Yeah. I like your session like anything. I thought I joined not any session, but Thursday I made it mandatory to join. That's what
Yeah.
I think of.
Prabhuji, one thing I needed, Prabhu, even in my life also, I have seen that throughout our journey in bhakti life, from time to time, if you just keep one small commitment for ourselves, right? So, like how in the beginning when you were there, like I used to join the Akspik Sangha, and every day, every Saturday, I used to make it a point to join. Similarly, when I moved to Manor, every Saturday, one small service, let it be even a small thing, if you can just stick to one commitment to Krishna and say, like, Krishna, this one thing I'm going to do for you. Let it be even a small one. So if you start it like that, Swalpam abhyasya dharmasya. Krishna says, Neha bikramanasosi pratyavayona vidyate swalpam abhyasya dharmasya. So even if you do a small seva for Krishna, but keep that as a commitment that Krishna, every day I'm going to do this small seva for, or every time when I'm come to the manor or any temple, I'm going to do this small, like that small commitment, that makes Krishna very happy. He feels very happy when you days, when we're taking it very seriously, that yes, Krishna, I want to do this small thing for you every time. That
Yeah, I
small
agree,
thing, Swalpam Abhyasya, literally says. A lot of people have this impression that we have to leave everything and go back. No, like I said, Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means whatever way you have, whatever you have, use it in your life, your skills, your senses, everything in the service of Krishna. Yukta Vairagya. Do everything for him. So we don't discriminate saying that, oh, I'm not going to use artificial intelligence has come, I'm going to keep away from. No, everything whatever you can, use it in the service of Krishna. That is Yukta Vairagya. That is what we believe in.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Indulekha Mataji, anything would you like to add? Sorry, I know you're not keeping well. Is there
Hare
anything?
Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice explanation as usual. Yeah, I was just laughing to myself, smiling to myself when you say tiny thing that we want to do. In Vrindavan, there is Rajapura where we have Jagannath temple. Not in Vrindavan, in Mayapur. So I managed to go like 3-4 times to that temple. And there is Lord Shiva as a Chitrapal and Simantani Devi as well, who's Durga Devi. So twice we got the Mahaprasadam. So we went there, and I was just coming out of the dining place, and I was thinking, I wish I could clean the place, right? And as soon as I come to the temple, somebody was sweeping, and I said, Prabhuji, please, can I? No, Mataji, no, Mataji. I said, please, I just want to do it. So he gave me the broom, and he went and got another broom, and I was so happy, just cleaning, The temple was closed, the altar was closed, but cleaning that area where people stand, where they do the kirtan, where everybody is coming. So I was just happy. Little service, I was very, very happy. Right? So I got the opportunity while on the yatra, and I got Mahaprasad, Hobilam, Nasingadev Mahaprasad, warm Mahaprasad. The plate came directly from the altar in my hand. And Gornitai and Radha Madhav, I got the opportunity because our host, her father is for 45 years has been the main pujari of Radha Madhav. So imagine how lucky we were when we were there. Anyway, thank you, Prabhuji. And one thing I would like to add here, when Arjuna was coming with the queens of the Krishna left the material world, so those queens, they were taken away by the rogue. That was, if anybody touches those queens, they would be burned because the queens had the power, they were the Krishna's queens. So the queens, they were cursed. They were cursed by Astavakra Muni. Astavakra Muni is a Muni who has got 8 limbs of his body like crooked. And he would walk sideways. And these queens, they were serving when they were young. They were serving Astavakra Muni just so that they get the Lord as their husband. And then when they laughed, they couldn't check themselves. They just laughed at the way that Muni was walking. So he cursed them. He said, you will be taken away by rogues because you're laughing at me. And then they immediately asked for forgiveness. They did good service. And then Muni said, yes, the curse is there. You will marry Krishna, but you will be taken away by the rogues. So that's what happened. That's what happened. They were taken away, and also they were taken away by Bhamasura, right? But the second time they were taken away, just they got vanished. They were not touched by those people. They just vanished. They went back to Krishna. And it's not written anywhere where they were. It just disappeared. Because if Arjuna has taken them to Hastinapur or anywhere, they would not survive because of Krishna's separation. So in that way, that curse was fulfilled. They were touched by those people, and then they left.
They left.
So that is the story of the queens of Krishna when he left. Hare Krishna.
Absolutely.
If I'm wrong, please correct me.
Oh no,
Anybody
no,
who-
that's a beautiful Mataji. That's the extension when I heard somewhere big until like meaning that I haven't focused much on that. But yeah, definitely that I heard even from that point of view also that it was actually another Leela or another thing pastime because of which it has happened, because it's very unusual that Arjuna wouldn't have been able to do that. But again, there's so many things happens in this in the Katha, isn't it? The reason why everything happened, like why Abhimanyu had to be victim. So many, there's a history behind every Leela that has
every
happened.
Leela, every Leela.
Every
Even
Leela has
we
happened.
see Lord Nityananda, he has only one earring. Why? That has another Leela. That is for another time I will tell.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the beauty about Krishna conscious Mataji. There's like web of stories, isn't it? It's like so beautiful. There is one story in one angle, and then there's another story for that.
Yeah.
Each and every small Leela has web of stories.
It's linked, probably.
Yeah, the link. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Mataji. That's so
Thank
nectar.
you.
I always love to listen, like some of the aspects which we are not aware, and just to add the nectar to that. So thank you so much for that. I mean, I was just reflecting on the ability side, like how we think, like we sometimes we feel so egoistic that I have this great brain or I have great knowledge and this and that and all that. So many skills when we make more lot of money and things like, but we don't realize that everything is actually Krishna's. It's all Krishna's thing actually. The skills that actually we are nothing if Krishna did not give us anything. But it's just like, but if we can use all that, be humble in knowing that this is actually not mine. In fact, sometimes we become envious of other people. But if you understand that that person's skill is actually doesn't belong to him, Krishna has given him that skill. That way we can actually stop being because enviousness is something happens in a very normal human mentality. But if we know that everything is coming from Krishna has given him, then we start looking at things from a different angle. we
Yes,
stop being,
probably.
we
If
stop
he
being envious.
wants, if he wants, he can make us stop talking immediately. If we
Yeah.
have this command, like I could say, that this pride that I can talk nicely, I can sing nicely, I can dance nicely, immediately anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Krishna
Hare
not
Krishna.
only he teaches us humility. In bhakti life we learn a lot of humility, and those are all of these things is humble, because again Krishna wants to you know humble us and put us in such a way so that we can become pure devotees of the Lord, because ultimately he wants us to become so pure so that we can go back to him. Out of
Yes.
all the things of Bhagavad Gita, if you take the essence of Bhagavad Gita, it's like Manmana Baba, Mad Bhakta, Madhyajimam Namaskuru, Mami says, now every time he says, do this, do that, and come back to me. Right? And there's Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu, Mamanusmarayita, Maya Arpito Manobud, Mama says, again, you think about me and do your work and then come back to me. Every many slokas in Bhagavad Gita, Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena, Chetasana, many times he says, do this, do that, and you come back to me. So his ultimate goal is that we have to be purify ourselves while we are living over here. Take to is this thing, surrender to Krishna, do our learn humility from Krishna Kathas, and finally surrender to Krishna and go back to Krishna. Purify yourself before going back to Krishna. So
that's why he comes, Prabhuji. That's why he Yada Yada Dharmasya. He comes to reclaim us. We have forgotten him. He has not. So he comes to just to reclaim us, to take us back home. But then we are adamant. We want to enjoy material world. So he cannot do much. He says, okay, I give you the opportunity. I give you the free will. Whenever you are ready, come to me. I am waiting. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Mataji. In fact, they say like we Krishna did not create the material world because of our desires, that Krishna had to create a material world for us. He doesn't want us to be here, but because of we are adamant and because we want to stay, that he had to time and again create it for for us to live in material, but we have to learn the lesson and just that's how we can go back to Krishna. And he's giving so many ways as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just sing, dance, and come back to me. Just learn, listen to Krishna, and come back to me. So this is Krishna's ultimate message: chant, be happy, and come back. Listen to Krishna Katha and come back. So that's so. Thank you so much, my always acting nectar. Narayan Rao Prabhuji, I don't know whether you are able to hear us or is there anything would you like to add before we just closing? Um, Thank you for joining us. I know he wanted Narendra Prabhuji. He met me last week and he said, "Can you please add me? I want to join your sangha." So I had to, but I think maybe some audio issues. Prabhavati Mataji, thank you for joining us. Anything would you like to add? Maybe
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Prabhuji. Naren
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
this is my first session. I'm a relatively new kid on the block. Thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you
Oh,
very much, Prabhu, for adding me and let me join this session. So
yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. This is how we run the satsang. We have a kirtan in the beginning. We offer our obeisances.
yeah.
We do a small kirtan and we dive into Krishna Katha directly. And every Krishna Katha is full of nectar. So yeah, you're most welcome anytime. Please join us whenever you can, Prabhuji. Yeah. Prabhati Mataji, sorry, anything would you like? Okay, Mataji maybe could be having some audio issue. Pavan Prabhu?
Hey, Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Really, really beautiful session, Prabhuji. I was just listening and enjoying that, the nectar. And especially the really good key takeaways in this today's session. So, especially the thing, between Krishna and Uddhava. So, Krishna is taking suggestions from Uddhava. So that shows even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as showing with an example, like he's taking suggestion means even though for us, like we should be always be humble,
Humble,
and then
yeah.
even though if we know everything, so we have to be like still in search of knowledge or still in search of being more um, devotional, spiritual, and find opportunities to help Krishna, serve Krishna. But we should never be in a situation where, oh, I know this, who are you to tell me, that kind of level. So the another example I would give is like whoever comes into Krishna consciousness, the very first thing Krishna takes away is the pride. So if
Yeah.
someone is having pride, so he will
Yeah.
be humbled first, and then he realizes, oh, that's my ignorance. I used to think like, oh, I know everything, but no, in
Yeah.
reality, so the real world, he knows nothing. The person who thinks he knows everything. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So once if they cross that is like a biggest thing. Once if they cross that, become very humble,
Yeah.
and then don't have that pride in the heart, and then accept everyone as a everyone accept everyone as like is having a supreme post of God in this heart.
Yeah.
And then just realize that just few people are just ignorant because of just the Maya and Kali. And then slowly you will see the world differently. So we don't have to prove that I'm great, and we don't have to prove that I have knowledge. And then when we reach that situation, the life and the world is completely different. No anxieties. You always be calm. So if someone comes and argues with you, you'll say you're right and move on. So
Yeah.
that's how the life will be. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So
So
being wise is so important, isn't it? It's always nice to be
exactly.
wise. And sometimes we in the position of we think like egoistically, yeah, I know everything. But again, actually, if you really look at it, if you just keep quiet and ask for other counsel, you may get another idea actually. You
Mm.
may actually, get some better idea also, which you had never thought about. But it's always you can take the decision, but you should always be open-minded in taking
Open. Yeah.
counsel. And counsel also you should take from people whom you know that they can give you the right advice, not from everyone.
Exactly.
Because sometimes when we take the wrong counsel, then you may be misguided also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we live in a world of misguided people and guided missiles.
Exactly.
Our missiles are more guided than people. So we have to be very careful whose counsel we take. But the best counsel is to take from our Guru, from our Shastra, and from
Yeah.
Krishna himself who's sitting in our heart. So we should always pray to Krishna, please guide my intellect so that I take the right decisions. Krishna, please give me
Mm.
please always be with me, guide me in giving me the right intellect to take the right decisions in my life. And these
Mm.
are the prayers. These are the real prayers we should ask. Like, more than a BMW or a beautiful house or something, but a right counsel. So thank you so much, Pawan Prabhu. You're such a young age. You're so wise and so beautiful. A lovely devotee you are. So very happy to have you.
It's to all of you. Actually, I'm learning from you guys. Yeah, and in Bhagavad Gita it said like we have to always gather information from bona fide spiritual masters. So that's
Yes.
when, we get the pure knowledge. And also I'm really happy that Indulekha Mataji is back. So now we're gonna learn more and more. So Mataji adds some really good value. So we enjoy listening Mataji's inputs. So I'm very happy that I heard when I heard Mataji's voice, I was like I went back to last year, December before at a like trip to I think India. So yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, you know
Hare
what?
Krishna.
We cover the stories, but the actual nectar comes in the end from devotees like Indulekha Mataji, Amoga Prabhuji. They literally give you that final touch and that the real nectar, and that is what is the most beautiful part of Krishna Katha.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. You know what? I am learning from all of you. I'm learning a lot, Thank you.
We are also learning a lot from you, Mataji. I do remember like many things which you added, like with including shloka references. The way I actually learned from you in terms of improved my speech, how to speak. In general when we state some point, like you give some examples from scriptures and then examples like purports, Srila Prabhupadaji's purports. So that's when I started remembering slowly whenever I get some information. So I started researching like where this came from. Like I try to get some actual spiritual references. So you set an example and then, you kind of, finding it easy to follow. So that's what we learn here. And yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Pawan Prabhu.
Prabhuji. Hare
Very nice.
Krishna.
Very nice. This is what why we need to have Vaishnavas and Vidas who really open our hearts and to understand the bigger picture. So much of knowledge that flows in. Because on our own it's very difficult to absorb so much of assimilate the knowledge. But what beautiful contribution that Vaishnavas do is they really open it in so nice way that we can be able to assimilate and we can digest the beautiful knowledge that they give. So we are very blessed, and I feel very, very honored to be, having this platform to share and serve our Vaishnavas. Neeraj Prabhu, any final thing would you want to add? You just came, I know, and in the end, you missed a bit of your association, but hopefully next time we were just covering one important thing about Kṛṣṇa, that he's going there, he's getting counsel from Uddhava and who's advising him what is the right thing for him to do. So sorry, I know you missed it, but just kind of like putting in a capsule.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining us. So all glories to Srila Prabhupada who is giving us this beautiful knowledge. Let's say final thing.
Hari Bol to Prabhuji.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
I feel so humble to be in your association. I feel so blessed. Thank you so much, everyone. Vanchakalpa tarubhyasya kripa
Sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you,
Jai.
everyone. We'll meet again next Thursday.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Babuji.